This video is going to be taking a look at a very special 1997 Jeep Wrangler TJ. I'm up here at Low Range 4x4 getting a little work done on my S10, and this thing happened to be up here going under the knife again as well. So let's get to what just makes this thing so special and very cool. So just what makes this Jeep so special is, well, it used to be mine about 9 years ago exactly. It now belongs to my friend Dusty Rhodes, and he has been putting this thing through the paces. He's a retired gentleman. This is his sort of retirement fun Jeep. Now, what you see under the hood is a 5.9 liter, 360 cubic inch V8 from a 99 Dodge Durango. This engine came from my heavy metal mutter project that ended up with a Dodge Viper engine in. If you're not sure about what that is, just Google heavy metal mutter Dodge Durango and you will see the ridiculousness of what I did in 2009 with the help of some very talented people. Now, this setup here, it has an advanced adapters motor mount kit, and it's using the automatic 46RE from the Durango as well. It's basically untouched in terms of engine performance or anything like that. The harness was all done by Hot Wire years ago. Chris Squire and his team, they do really good jobs. You send them out your old harness and they get this thing fixed up. Now, at the same time it got the V8 swap, it was actually at Offered Evolution at their Fullerton headquarters. Now, this engine truss you see here was actually for the coilovers, and as you can see, it's high-lined. It was originally high-lined with the stock flares, and then ended up putting on these Poison Spider ones years later after I did the axle swap. Now, one of the big upgrades that Dusty did to this Jeep is he got a Atlas 2 installed. It's got a 4.3-to-1 low range. It's a twin stick setup, gear driven case, much stronger case wise and overall than the original 231. And with this V8, it gives them a tremendous amount of torque and crawl ratio, so this thing can easily crawl, and it has a little bit more power too for whenever you really got to gas it and get these 40s going. Now, the other thing that it kind of was a big change that I did not do to this Jeep is he had low range install a set of these full suspension seats from Corbeau along with a full cage setup. This comes from Poison Spider, full weld in, so this thing is very safe for wheeling. I originally had it set up with my spare just sitting in the back. It was on 37s for many years and then moved to these 40-inch trail grapplers. One of the reasons I did get rid of it, if you're wondering why, is when my daughter was born, I just wanted something with more doors to haul the kiddo a little bit easier. So let's talk a little about the axles. Up front, it's a high pinion Dana 60. It was built by East Coast Gear Supply. So it's a ball joint 60 that's been narrowed, 35 spline axle shafts, 513 gears, and it's got a Detroit locker. High steer setup with PSE hydro assist. I'll walk you out back here, and it's got a little bit different 60. So East Coast Gear Supply built both of these for me. They're narrowed to 65 inches, so it's kind of a narrow 60 set, but it's actually a semi-float rear 60. Low pinion housing. The back tank here, in case you're curious about that, comes from Gen Wright, so you got plenty of room for the little bit of a stretch and the axle. Now, I will say, going narrow and semi-float, the idea here is I was kind of fresh off of Ultimate Adventure. I wanted to keep this thing sort of compact and not too wide. Dusty and I have actually talked about this a few times. If I had to do it again, I probably would have just went ahead and went full width with it and gone full float in the back, but it did help keep a little weight down on it, so I can't hark on that too much. In terms of how it's set up underneath, this is a good chance to show. So when we did the 60 swap, the original Super Lift links wouldn't work. So it's a Super Lift belly pan. That was kind of the original suspension under this deal. And so we got some brackets from Barnes 4-wheel drive, welded them in, East Coast did, and built some links with Johnny joints. And so it's still 4-link with a track bar in the front, just the lowers mount to a different spot. Out back, the original links are gone from Super Lift. Now they just had a custom 2-inch quarter wall with Johnny joints front and rear. It makes them easy and adjustable. You got Tom Woods drive shafts in it, and it's been a fairly good setup. In terms of body armor, as you can see, it gets a lot of use. As I mentioned earlier, it's got the Poison Spider Highline kit in the front. The boat sides here are called boat side bombers from Evo Manufacturing. You actually chop a little bit out of the body and raise it up. The body mounts have all been chopped and reinforced here, so it's basically a body mount kit. Fairly flat underbelly. The rear panels come from Evo Manufacturing. It's a very slight stretch. It's about 1 inch in the front, 3 inches in the back. The coilover towers come from Genrite. Why it's actually in here right now is they're kind of testing and changing out the rear coilover setup to a set of Kings. These are 12-inch travel. They're just kind of playing with some different reservoir mounts and stuff right now. So that's what it's in here for. Poison Spider rear bumper, I believe it could be Genrite. It's been a long time. Dusty did that. Everything else is pretty simple. No spare tire carrier or anything like that. Best top, soft top. The front coilovers, as I briefly mentioned, are King 2.5s. We did that same when we went with the 60. I had to kind of do some adjustment with the coilover. So this thing really is set up to give you a good balance of up travel and down travel. You can, you know, drive it hard and not have to go too slow off-road. Poison Spider front bumper, Poison Spider steering gearbox guard, Warren winch. I believe it's the Xeon. It's hard to see, everything's covered up right now. I don't want to mess with that. Headlights come from Trucklight LED. I put those in years ago. Those things are fantastic, super bright. And that's really, I think, the mix of it. Now, I want to point out, this is a toy for him. So when you see the crushed A-pillar here, you know, this is just a matter of he really takes this thing off-road and uses it hard. As you can see, the 65 WMS, that's a 3.5-inch back spacing wheel from, it's an ATX Slab, which I guess ATX is basically KMC now. The tires are a 40 by 1350 Nitto Trail Grappler. This is actually the second set of 40s that he's put on this thing. When I sold it to him, it was on a set of 40-inch Trail Grapplers, and he loves them, kind of keeps going back with them. He definitely uses the absolute mess out of them, but you know, that's the whole point of this thing, is being a fun toy like this. Obviously, you can tell he's got a lot of years of wheeling on this sidewall and just sort of shredded that. Yukon hubs, you can see the wheel's still pretty messed up. If you guys have any questions about it, just drop them in the comments. I really wanted to show you guys this thing off-road, but my schedule and Dusty's just have not lined up, so I didn't want to miss this opportunity while I was up here at Low Range to check it out and show you guys kind of a cool piece of my history and something that I really like, and it's really cool to see on the trail. So that's it for this video, and I hope to see you guys on the trail soon. Take care. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider subscribing to the Driving Line channel. Our goal is to excite, entertain, and educate you on all things automotive. So if you want to come be part of our journey, please hit that subscribe button, and we hope to see you on the next video. Take care.